What's up? We are back with another video today, and today we are doing a LSU football prediction video. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers before the end of May. We're closing in on it. Help me hit that subscriber goal by hitting that subscribe button down below. Like the video if you enjoy it. Comment all your thoughts and opinions down below as well. Let me know what your record prediction for the Tigers is. Also, make sure that you share this video. Also, click the video link down in the description for my website, my podcast, and my Patreon page if you want to check out any of those things. So make sure that you check that out. So let's get started with today's video. So as we head over to the LSU schedule, it is going to be a big year for Brian Kelly and the Tigers as they enter into a really seminal year. And talking about Seminoles, we head to the great state of Florida to play for LSU's first game, where they are playing Florida State in Orlando. Talk about a really massive matchup. Labor Day weekend once again, Sunday night. And this game last year, let's just say it was not a top 10 matchup, which is what it will probably be this year, if not possibly top 5. I think it's probably going to be top 5, but it will definitely be a top 10 matchup. Florida State obviously has their returning quarterback in Jordan Travis, and LSU has their returning quarterback in Jaden Daniels. Sorry, I could not think of his name. But either way, both teams obviously have a lot of returning production. It's a big game, and I think that this game is going to be an incredibly critical one for the playoff system as a whole. So with this game, for starters, we have Florida State. This is going to be a hometown environment somewhat, but I think LSU is going to be able to get the victory here because I do trust that LSU just has a little bit more talent and is going to be a little bit more physical than Florida State. I think that the physicality at the end of the day is what will separate this game into turning into kind of the same way that it was. Came down to the very end. I think that this matchup will come down to the very end as well. But I think that the lines that you have are going to be the big difference here. The depth that you have with Jaden Daniels, and then at the running back position, you're having a lot of depth there, especially with the transfer of Logan Diggs, who I think will probably be the starter. As a Notre Dame fan, he is incredibly good. So I think that he could possibly be a starter, but he'll definitely be ahead of Noah Cain, in my opinion. But I think that will give you the W in that one just because of the physicality of that game. Then you have Grambling State, big matchup here in the Bayou. No, not really, but it is a good matchup to have after a big game like Florida State, especially if you get the win there. You're probably number 2, number 3 in the country. But I think you get the win there and beat Grambling State, making it an easy 2-0. Then you head to Miss State for an interesting road game here. Obviously, rest in peace to Mike Leach. The program is now led by his former offensive coordinator in Zach Arnett. I think that's his name. But basically, with this matchup, you still have Will Rogers back. I think that you're in a good position to be able to just be in a good position to win this game if you are LSU, though I'm a little bit concerned generally with just, I don't know, the one problem I have with this game is just the simple fact that LSU from time to time will struggle against teams that they shouldn't. But I think those times are past them. It shouldn't be an easy matchup in Starkville. This is by no means going to be an easy matchup. But I think you should get the W there in Miss State. Then you head back home. You play for the boot in the Arkansas LSU rivalry. Love this rivalry. It's one of the most fascinating college football. KJ Jefferson is back for the Razorbacks, so both teams have their quarterback back, just as it was in the Florida State matchup. Arkansas, they're going to have a tough year. They had a tough year last year. Obviously, in the SEC West, wins are hard to come by. but I think that at the end of this day, I think Jaden Daniels is just a better version of what KJ Jefferson is, just a better passer, a little bit more agile, and I think that the Razorbacks are going to have to take another L in this rivalry. Then you have Old Miss coming to, or you're heading to Oxford to play the Rebs. Lane Kiffin, a little bit up and down. I'd be again, both of the Mississippi teams going to Mississippi both these times, whether it's Starkville or Oxford, these are not going to be easy games. But to be completely honest, it's going to be a struggle to win both of these games. But I think overall, you should be able to get the W there in Oxford. Though it is not going to be easy with Lane Kiffin at the helm. He's a guy that sometimes he'll win a lot of games that he's not supposed to. And then he'll also lose a lot of games that he's not supposed to. So that will be another W for the Tigers. Speaking of Tigers, you play the Missouri Tigers. And, well, here's the thing. I think that this is probably one of the toughest games you have all season, just because I think Missouri, they almost beat Georgia last year in Missouri. It's not an easy environment to play in. There's not really anybody in the SEC that's an easy environment outside of Vanderbilt. But Missouri, you're looking at a team that a couple weeks into the season, all these road games for LSU are pretty difficult. At Miss State, at Ole Miss, at Missouri, at Alabama. These are not some easy games. But I think you should be able to get a win here. Missouri will probably put up a fight for about 2 quarters that first half, maybe halfway into that third quarter. But I think LSU should be able to run away with their physical dominance. And if you can't already tell the theme of this video, it's about physical dominance. And I think that that's something that LSU has that a lot of their other teams that they're playing just don't have. Talking about one of them, that's Auburn. Auburn really struggled last year to be able to have a passing attack, to be able to stop people in the run game and stuff like that. I like Hugh Freeze. I think the hire's good. I think it's going to make Auburn a much better team. But here's the problem. Auburn was put in a really tough spot by the complete and utter embarrassment that was the prior administration there before Hugh Freeze. It was not a good environment. I think that you're really looking at an environment in which you're going to have a lot to work on coming in, whether that's at the quarterback position with Peyton Thorne coming in, or whether that's at the offensive and defensive lines, at the skill positions. You're going to have a lot to work on. Hugh Freeze did bring in a lot of transfers, but I still think that LSU and that defense overall, it's going to be good. I think that they should be able to be pretty well oriented, especially from that linebacking core and that front seven overall. I think that you're in a really good spot in that scenario particularly. Then, welcome in the Army Black Knights. Once again, not an easy game. You should be able to play well in this game. You should be able to win it. But by no means is this going to be a walk in the park. You're going to have to play good football. You're going to have to battle. The Army is going to be physical with you. As a Notre Dame fan, take this. Brian Kelly knows triple option teams real well. Army does throw the ball a little bit more than Navy. They don't throw it as much as Air Force. Air Force is probably the throws the most, and which makes sense, being that they're Air Force. But I would say this, I think that Army, you should be able to get the victory here. It shouldn't be a tough win, but I think that you should be good heading into your bye week before you play Alabama. Both teams obviously have a bye going in this week, both Alabama and LSU. But you have to head to Bryant-Denny Stadium. That's a tough place to play. It's the same as Tiger Stadium. It's a tough place to play. It is going to be it's going to be a stone fight, just fist fight, just absolutely smash mouth football. And I think that the Crimson Tide come out on top. I'm sorry, Tiger fans, but I think that Alabama gets their revenge here. I think that that Nick Saban is just like, we're not doing that again, and should be able to get the W there. But I think that you should be okay going 11-1. are going having one loss, not 11-1, having one loss in this season so far, I think you're in a good shape. You're 8-1. I think you're doing well. Then you have Florida. I think you get the W here. Florida is in a tough spot. I will give Billy Napier a little bit of credit. He was put in a really tough spot with no Anthony Richardson this year. You're in a tough spot. You got a lot of things to work on. Florida has a lot of issues. Maybe they're fixed by this point, but let's be honest, probably not. So heading into the second last week of the season, last non-conference opponent, you welcome in the Georgia State Panthers. If you don't get an easy win here, there are big issues. I think you should get the win there heading into the final week where you play the Aggies. This should once again be a win, making your record 11-1. And the reason why I think the Aggies will get the W here, or why the Tigers will get the W over the Aggies, is just simply, I don't think Jimbo Fisher is going to be able to turn this program around. I think that he kind of put himself in a mess, and I think he's going to struggle to get himself out of it. And going into LSU, even though A&M does generally put up a good fight against Alabama and LSU and Ole Miss and these other teams, I think that they're probably still going to take the L, and I think that LSU finishes off the year 11-1. Make sure that you check out more videos, including that Alabama video, to see whether I think that LSU wins the SEC West or whether I think Alabama wins the SEC West. So make sure that you continue to check out all future videos, as I will be going through all Power 5 teams. And if you have a non-Power 5 team that you would like me to do, make sure that you let me know down below. That's it for today's video. Hit the 2 videos down below and the subscribe button up here. And as always, have a great day. Bye, guys.